What up, guys? So today I want to talk to you about roof cleaning. We're going to actually show you this roof and we are going to clean it today. And so I'm going to walk you through all the steps you need to be able to do to be able to clean this roof right here. And so that is the goal for this. I'm going to show you in just a few simple sections of how to do it, what to do, what not to do, and how to be a successful business owner of doing pressure washing. Again, this is going to be a real simple roof and it will look amazing. So I'll be putting the before and after pictures up here so that way you can see how well this roof is going to look when we are all done. So the very first thing is we got to do is we got to make sure that we are watering everything. So we are going to water. We got a few little plants right here. We're going to be making sure they're full of water, because if those plants are not full of water and they take that chemical in, they'll be dead, brown, gone. And so we do not want that to happen when we are doing roof cleaning. Obviously we want to make profit. This little roof right here is a little 800 square feet house. You know, this is a $700-800 roof clean. It's a $700 roof clean for this little roof. Today we're going to be doing a bunch of video on it, so it's going to take a little bit longer than normal, but this is an hour and a half. I'd be in and out and gone to the next house. In this video, I'm going to have my helper, DJ. It's his job. And so we will be doing this together. So anytime I have if we're doing this by ourselves, if we're doing it with two people, we always want to have somebody watering all the flowers, all the bushes, all that kind of things. Because again, the last thing we want is dead bushes, dead brown bushes. And so one other thing we want to do before we get going on here is we want to get our before pictures. Not only so this will be a great before and after picture, but it will also, we want to make sure that along the house there's already no dead plants, no broken stuff. So that way we don't get in trouble for something that we didn't do. And so watering is very, very, very important. If we got to water the whole entire time. Okay? Yeah, go now. How to empty the tank fast. One thing that we have to do here is we have to get our chemical, SH, bleach, whatever you want to call it, aka we have 100 gallons here. We are using a mixing valve here on here. So this is just a simple system of how we are going to do this roof. So we have a mixing valve that is right here. This is the mixing valve. Hopefully I can get it in here to show it. Here's the mixing valve. You can see right there. And then over here we have the battery that's going to do it. But there is the mixing valve right there. Right there is the mixing valve. So one of them's bleach, one's water, one's surfactant. Again, we're going to use either 10 or 12%. We want to be, you know, I use a 6%. You can hear the 12-volt pump kicking on. Right now he has water, he's getting ready to do it. So he'll turn the water valve all the way on and turn the bleach valve all the way on. That's a 6% mix, and that will do it just fine.
Yeah, I'll see what you.
And then
this is how I did to make sure I know where I'm at bleach. So I'll turn my surfactant on, and then I'll run my surfactant and make sure, all right, it's in the blue's coming through. Then I'll shut it off. Then I'll turn your bleach on. Your bleach will be turned on through your mixer valve, and then where you put it at. And then you know when you come up, you don't have any bleach in your line, so you've got color. So then you know right after when color comes through, you know that's when your bleach is there.
Some things that we really need to look forward to and make sure that we're not screwing up is we're checking to see where our downspouts are. We want to know where those downspouts are going and where they may be going that could cause an issue. So this one here you can see comes into something and goes underground. So we don't know exactly where this downspout goes, but if I was willing to bet, it's probably going right there to the end of that dirt pile there. Now here we don't care because they don't even care about their grass back here. But if you're at a place that this might be going out into their lawn, what I'll do a lot of time is take my garden hose and just shove it right in there, or spray water right down in there, so then that way I'm making sure I'm getting that diluted, because at the end of the day it's about diluting that chemical. So we got a downspout here, we got a downspout over here, and so we really want to make sure that both these downspouts have plenty of water and going out of them. Now some of these places may actually be going into a cistern. A cistern is a thing that's up here in the north that hold water. You can see this gutter right here is actually leaking, so you can see where it's actually done some cleaning. You know, this is where we got to be careful of. If this was a nice deck on the back side of the house, if this was a deck and we had this here, that would be a major issue. So this is why, another reason why we want to do our walk around is to make sure when we come around, if there's a deck back here, go ahead and spray that deck down, get water on it. Because if we get this on there, this right here is called a major problem, major issue if this was on a deck. Here it ain't so major, but again, if we were on a deck, this would be very bad for you, especially if it was stained. That's going to pull that stain, and the way we're going to keep that from happening obviously is make sure that we are spraying it and make sure that we're rinsing it and we're getting that stuff off there, and it's not causing any issues at that point. So that is definitely something we want to do. So some things we want to watch out for is our wand. Obviously this has hot mix in it, so we don't want to be putting this out in the grass somewhere that could kill something. We want to either put it up by the house, put it in the mulch, something, put it in the gravel, put it on the concrete, which it could clean the concrete, so be careful there. But we want to make sure that we keep this so that way we don't have issues later on of dead stuff growing because we didn't put that in the right spot. So we definitely want to be careful with that. One thing when we're putting up ladders and stuff like that, we always want to make sure that we are being careful with overhead obstructions, aka also known as electric lines. We always want to be careful that we do not put our ladder in those electric lines. So we always want to make sure that we're looking up so that way we are seeing that. So this house, we could shoot every bit of this from the ground, but I'm going to kind of show you from the ladder aspect also. This section here we'll probably shoot from the ground. This section here I'm going to get up on the ladder just to show you the difference of shooting it from the ground versus shooting it from the ladder. If we're shooting it from the ladder, we're going to use less chemical, we're going to use less stuff, so we're going to have less runoff by us shooting it from the ground versus us shooting it from the ladder. And so that's the biggest difference of us shooting it from the ladder versus us shooting it from the ground. You can see that this hill is on a very non-level hill, and so we want to make sure that we use some ladder stabilizers so that way we can turn that a little bit, so that way we can climb that ladder and it's not going to fall over. You know, we don't want to take one of these bricks here and stick underneath there to make it level, because I would never ever do that. But you know, or a big stump or something. So this here are about $100, and this will keep you safe and will keep you from falling off the ladder. Again, when we're climbing ladders, we always want to use 3 points of connection. So I'm actually going to put this camera here. I'm going to slide up this ladder, so I always have 3 points of connection here. And whenever I'm shooting it from the roof, I always try to, whenever I'm shooting it from the roof, I always try to come up here a little bit higher than the roof, the gutter line. So that way I can spray it a little bit easier and that kind of thing. When I'm right here close to me, I'm going to use that wide, nice brush here. So that way I can start off at the bottom and work my way up here. So again, I'm going to go ahead and put my mask back on. So I don't know if you'll be able to hear me or not, but again, I'm going to start here at the bottom, turn it all the way on, and I'm going to just get a nice coating right along here. That's not the one I wanted. I'm going to get that nice coating right here along this gutter. So that way, I know I'm going to get it clean and all that. I can spray all the way down through there like so. And by me using this wide spray, I'm not getting a lot of runoff, and that's what I really want to do. I don't need it just to keep it going here and get all this runoff. I don't need to have it like this and just have all that runoff. All that's going to do is give us problems later on. So again, I just want to get a nice coating on it. I can hit this roof right here before I go up. And I can do all this with this nozzle. I don't need to have, you know, a real steep nozzle on there. I don't need to have that nozzle that's just spraying a lot of soap. I just need a nozzle just to get a nice coat on it. You can see I don't have very little runoff, and it's just what I need. I don't need a lot of runoff. If I keep getting runoff, then I'm not going to be it's not going to actually work good for me at the other end of things. So the reason why we want to wear a mask is when we're up on this roof, this is off-gassing coming up into us, and so that is why I want to wear a mask. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of what happens when we have water in our system and that in the very beginning. And this is why I don't like to put a lot of water, and I don't like coming from the top. So you can see here we have some brown or black left. That's because it didn't actually get clean good right there. And so what happened is that's where I first shot it with water, and then that didn't do it. So if it's black, we need to shoot it again. If it is brown, then it's good to go. You can see it has some leachings on there on the black that it's going to have to go away. But again, you can see that, and that's going to make it when we go and have it done again. Again, if we're getting up on this roof, definitely tie off. Make sure that you're using safety. You know, one trip and fall and you're dead, and that's not worth it at the end of the day. So definitely make sure that we are being safe up here on the roof. You know, it's better to move the ladder around than it is to fall off the roof. So we was talking about cost and stuff, and so right here is our bleach tank, and we used a whopping about 7, I'll even give you 10 gallons. So a $700 job, 10 gallons of bleach, 2 hours worth of time. Definitely worth your time doing this stuff.